A few months ago, I made a video in which I shared a few tips for propagating certain houseplants to show you how we basically have free houseplants for life. While I was recording the video, I planted some little cuttings to illustrate a few examples. And since then, as I've watched the little plants grow, I keep thinking to myself how fun it would be to update you on how they're doing. And I have a few new babies that I wanted to plant, all for free, so that's what I'm going to do in the video today. First, give you an update, and then plant a few new babies. I'm Susie, I'm American, and I've lived here in Dijon, France for over 15 years. On this channel, I talk about life in France and personal finance. This topic is related to my subjects because in the original video, I was talking about how even if you're someone who enjoys decorating with houseplants, but you don't really have a budget for it, you can still basically manage to find ways to do it for next to nothing or even for free. And the same will be true for the video today as well. If you haven't seen the original video, I'll put a link to it in the description below. I filmed the original video at the end of July, so it's been just a little bit over 2 months, just to give you an idea of how much time has passed since I planted the originals in the first video. Let's start with the avocados. The avocados, as predicted, took a while to get started. I suspended 2 avocado seeds with toothpicks over water, one in a glass bulb vase and one in a yogurt jar. After a while, it seemed like nothing was happening, and I even started to doubt that they would ever sprout roots. But they did. First one, and then the other, started to sort of sprout some roots, and then after a while, the stems shot up, and eventually they even started to grow a few leaves. And now look how great they look. And what's really impressive too is these root systems, and I think it's fascinating how different they both are. And today I'm going to pot this one because I'm planning on bringing it over to a friend's house tonight as a gift. And we'll keep the other one here in the bulb vase in the kitchen so that we can continue to enjoy watching it grow. So here we go. And again, all of the supplies I'm using are just things that we had around the house. Well, technically in the garage, like old plastic pots and this half of a bag of potting soil. Aside from buying the avocados, which we ate sometime back in July, I didn't buy anything else. Remember Georgie, my son's plant? I guess Georgie is more the name of the little pot because no matter what plant is living in this pot, he calls it Georgie. And there have been several incarnations of Georgie over the years. This is the closest thing our kids have to a pet. During the first video, I actually changed out the last incarnation of Georgie, which was a pothos, and I planted a pancake plant in its place. Well, here's Georgie today. Technically still alive, but definitely not thriving. And I don't really know what's going on. I don't know if it's too much water, if it was too much light, not enough light. I've even tried to move Georgie around to a few different places upstairs to see if that would help. The mother plant over there on the windowsill is still definitely thriving, so I don't know what's going on with this little guy. If you have any suggestions or ideas, definitely let me know in the comments below. Remember the hoya that I planted in the last video? I had taken a little cutting from work, which I had left in some water for a while, and it had started to grow some roots, so I decided that it was time to pot it. Well, unlike Georgie, I'm very happy to report that the hoya seems to be thriving. Here it is! Getting so big, I'm starting to wonder if I should repot it into a different pot. Soon, probably, but I think I'm going to leave it in this little pot for a little bit longer. Next, the mother of thousands. Remember in the original video, I just sprinkled the little baby mother of thousands on a bed of potting soil, and I just tucked a few of their little mini roots into the potting soil, but I just left most of them right on the surface. Well, here they are now, and aside from watering them occasionally and just leaving them on the windowsill, I really haven't done anything, and you can see the growth has just been so impressive. So that's pretty much it for the update from the plants from the last video. And aside from the pancake plant, which is looking a bit stunted, I'm generally pretty happy with how well these plants have grown, especially considering that I haven't done much aside from water them and make sure that they're getting some light. And I really don't know what I'm doing, but it's really fun. And in fact, I have a couple other experiments going on here at home as well that I wanted to tell you about today too. I took these cuttings from a holiday cactus at work, and I brought them home and I just dropped them in this shot glass with a little bit of water, having no idea whether or not that's actually what you're supposed to do. And then I was over at my mother-in-law's house a few days later, and I saw that she had a big, beautiful, healthy holiday cactus. And I mentioned to her, "Ooh, I just took a few cuttings of one of those from work." And she said, "Oh, would you like one? Because I have one that I've already started myself." And she gave me this, which she grew herself. So I came home from her house with my own new holiday cactus that I, of course, paid nothing for. But wouldn't it be fun to have another experiment going and to go ahead and plant these today as well? She told me that, in fact, you can just plant the plant, you can just put it directly into potting soil without waiting for roots to come, and that it will grow on its own. So I thought that would be fun to do today because I know that these can flower in different colors, and I don't know what color the flowers are for this one, and I don't know what color the flowers are for this one. And so maybe they're different, and I thought it would be fun to plant them, and hopefully one day they'll both flower and maybe they'll be different and we can see. Okay, so old potting soil in old plastic pot, and I chose this size because it's the same size as the one that my mother-in-law gave me, and she knows what she's doing, so I'll follow her example. And now I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to take these. You can see even after being in the water for a few weeks, they did not really start to sprout any roots. So I'm just going to take them and put them in water, in the soil a little bit here. I've got 2 of them. I even found a decorative pot cover, old one in the garage, that will fit almost perfectly. So here we go, I'm gonna water this. Now I just need to find a spot for it. We're running out of room in this house. We have so many plants everywhere. And I'll definitely update you on how this holiday cactus does in the future. So if you're interested to see its progression, go ahead and subscribe. We've had this spaghetti cactus for years, and I didn't even know that was the name until today when I used Google Lens to look it up. And my husband had taken a cutting from somewhere, I don't know where, a while back, and he didn't realize that we actually had one at home. But this little guy has been growing roots in this water, in this little shot glass for the last couple months, and I thought it would be fun to go ahead and plant it today as well. So here we go. Oh my gosh, it looks so cute in its little pot here. And I'll update you on this guy as well. And what about you? Do you enjoy experimenting with houseplants? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me today for this video here in my 10-year-old IKEA kitchen. If you would like to know more about my kitchen or my house in France, you can check out this playlist here as well. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, à bientôt!